We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Good day.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today is Jack Thursday, and I'm going to talk about how I break my own rules constantly, but it actually equals personal growth.
It's okay when you do it. It's not okay when I break your rules.
You know how when you're watching, yeah, if anyone's gonna break my rules, it's me.
That's right. That's the only one.
You know, the same thing happens if I try to break your rules.
Yeah. Number 3, and I know that. Don't do that to Dad.
You know how you, absolutely, you fast forward through whatever you're watching on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, no matter how short it is.
Like people do to this show?
Yeah, I wonder if they listen to it at times 4, and then they can detect when we say land or anything
and then
important.
Tune in.
Yeah, like not yet.
Yeah.
Like this is all being fast forwarded through.
Exactly.
Here's the trigger if you're fast forwarding. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members.
Trigger? Oh, I got it. Slow it down now. Oh my gosh. All right.
I had somebody email me like 2 years ago, and they say, look, I know what you're trying to do here, and the only real value to any of this is the question that you answer. So can you please edit all that down, and the whole show can just be
the question,
100 questions in a row, and save me a lot of time? And I said, sure, absolutely. I'm happy to do that. I'll let you know on Thursday.
That was not visible on iTunes, so we can still keep our rating.
It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like. People want stuff free. Did you ever notice since the internet kicked in, because we're old enough to know a time before the internet, where nobody expected stuff for free.
True.
Everybody expects everything to just be free.
I know. You're not wrong. Charlie wrote, does my bookkeeper need knowledge of the land business to be a good fit for us? I'm just looking for something that's cost effective for my relatively small number of transactions. I talked to Anderson Business Advisors, but I don't think my 1 to 2 properties per month warrants $170 minimum per month in bookkeeping. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a great question.
It's a great question,
especially
Charlie.
And a year here.
Actually, you're 100% right on everything you said. So I actually have some experience in this. Here's what you want to do. And this is a whole module in Land Academy 3.0, just coming out in January, about your business, setting up your business correctly. I realized that we never really
talked about it
in the formal education.
Right.
This is what I want you to do. I want you to make sure you have another bank account that's separate. And I want you to put some money in there from your personal bank account. Let's say $30,000, $40,000 or whatever number you're comfortable with. And all the revenue and expenses that you incur in your business. I don't care if it's building a website or getting a phone number or all the other things that are necessary to send a mailer out, need to come out of there. And then when you have some revenue, when you sell some property, it goes back in there. So what you're doing is separating your entire scenario, your personal life from your business life. If you do that and you have access to the both accounts on the internet, you do not need a bookkeeper at all. So bookkeeping really scrambles certain people. Bookkeeping
and accounting, or bookkeeping versus your tax accountant, are different.
Yeah.
It can be different.
Bookkeeping
is different.
And your tax person, bookkeeping is a completely different talent, and most people
you don't need
this,
that.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And so to answer your question, no, that's how you bookkeep. And honestly, that's how we do it. Even at our level, and I'm talking tens of millions of dollars a year, it's all in schedule. It's set up in separate bank accounts, the revenue and the expense.
Well, you know what's true?
We don't have a bookkeeper.
Charlie, back in the day, let me tell you, Charlie, I do not have an accounting degree. I am not a bookkeeper, but I can do math. So back in the day, all of our terms, properties, and things that we had going, I did it. I was keeping track of it. We never had like a formal bookkeeper. I would keep track of the payments coming in, and I just queued up for you for the real time, the end of the year, the accounting for taxes. I just had to have it presentable.
Right. So that brings us to taxes. So now we've taken care of bookkeeping for 99.9% of us. Even the people in career path, that's how they do it. And those people, some of them are making more than we are. And the new people in career path are learning from them. So this is good. Your tax person, and I said this in Discord, 9 out of 10 tax people will not understand your business and make mistakes. And so and a lot of people said the same thing, including our moderators. You're going to have to really talk to somebody who understands buying and selling real estate, not a tax person for a real estate agent. That's completely different.
Yeah.
It's closer to manufacturing than anything. So it has to be specialized. And no, I don't think you should go to like Anderson. Anderson's huge. Arthur Anderson was massive. It still is a massive company. So it's too big for that. You need a local person. Please go into Discord again and say, I'm in that fill in the blank area and I need a good tax accountant. This gets me thinking, because Jill and I have been talking about this for years, to get a couple of accountants that understand this and make them the Land Academy accountants, because the accountant we have does an amazing job for us.
And he won't do it. He's like tapped out. He's like, no, I'm good.
He's got little kids. And I said, hey, how'd you like 300 or 400 more customers that do the exact same thing with me? And his answer was no. My kids are little. I have enough clients.
Yep.
I want to spend time with them.
Right.
What do you say to that?
I get it.
You just say, yep.
I get
Congratulations. I wish I was you. Wish I could be satisfied with my own level of revenue.
Oh my gosh.
She shakes her head.
I love it.
Today's Jack Thursday. Breaking my own rules equals personal growth. This is why you're listening. Well, I'll start with the question, how I answered one of the question just a few seconds ago. There was a point in our career, Jill and I, when we restarted together, because the business really changed in 2010 because of the recession, the real estate driven recession, where we both looked at each other and said, you know what? How about, because we had a paid for house and all our utilities are real low and our general expenses are very, very, very low. It's about as low as they're probably ever going to get. If we could just this is a conversation we had. If we just make $5,000 more a month, $5,000 above what our fixed costs are, which are like $2,000 or $3,000 at that time. We're good.
Yep. We can take all the trips we want to take.
That was our business model.
Right.
Well, it's not that.
And then we called it, remember Cash Flow from Land, though, we call it $10,000 a month for life.
Yeah.
We said, we'll make it 10, because that's easily attainable. And people love 10.
And we were making 10 then.
It's like, yeah, because then you're making 6 figures a year. But he's like, oh, this is great. And then, go ahead,
and
dear.
And so I never, Jill knows this. I don't, this is like a confession. It just keeps going up. My target just keeps moving up. It's beyond $1 million a month now, which is so ridiculous. It's silly. So I hope you're watching this on YouTube, Jill's reactions. And so, look, all this stuff constantly changes. I'm constantly eating my words and changing my rules. Is that personal growth or is that mental illness? I think it's personal growth. What do you think it is? You're just as guilty about some of this stuff.
You know what? So here's the thing.
How many Cartier watches do you need, by the way?
You asked me a long time ago when I was, the happiest, which I'm still happy. My thing was a couple years ago, the level we were at, I was like, this is it. I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
This was it. And it's like half of where we are now. And I'm like, oh, so everything to me is gravy. That's how I see it. So am I driven to do more? Yeah. I kind of am, because that's in our nature. That's nature. That's not nurture. So
this whole week is full of rule breaking. There was not too long ago, I said, never, ever use a real estate agent. Only do this.
Right.
And now we found out that when you find a really good real estate agent,
you can do more.
Like when you find a really good woman, the sky's the limit. You can do some amazing stuff.
Especially with the women over an agent. Exactly.
So that's a rule that I broke.
I love. I'm trying to think other ways that you have.
I have a few.
Okay.
I built a business, not so much with Jill, but the one before it, buying property, accessless property. And I had a whole bank of customers in Arizona who, for whatever reason, really wanted cheap, huge acreage property that had no access. They didn't want it to have access. So there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want access to a property, and you don't want to be found. They all center around that. And so we couldn't keep it on the shelf. Every single property I purchased, they would buy. And I got to, after about 20 of these deals with a certain group of people, I found out they would just pretty much pay anything. They saw that as a massive premium, as a great attribute. Mm-hmm. And they found ways to get to it. They would tell me, they'd take pictures and stuff and show me, like, mm-hmm. One group was, how they have these Jeeps that climb rocks.
Mm-hmm. The Moab.
Yeah.
The Moab people. Yeah.
So it was just this massive challenge. They were, they weren't suffering from funds. So I'd buy a 40-acre property that had no access at all for $4,000 or $5,000 and sell it to them for $20,000. And they couldn't write the check fast enough.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Take all their friends out there, do bonfires. Who knows what else?
Who knows what?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. Mm-hmm. They're never going to be found.
Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid if you have this one takeaway from today and from us. Don't be afraid to eat your own words.
It's going to change.
It's going to change.
If it doesn't change, then it's going to die. It'll die on the
Every
vine.
time you say, not my kid, it will be your kid. Every time you say, I'm not going to do that, I will never do that. Yeah, you might.
We started Land Academy without any data. It was the data that we used, and rapidly found out that people need data and they want access to data. They don't know how to get it themselves. Right. Or they're not interested in getting it. It's too much work.
Right.
So we provided that. It was RealQuest. Well, RealQuest is completely obsolete now. We only use data tree, and that's all being covered in Land Academy 3.0. So that, I'm eating my words on that.
Yeah.
Never buy a property with any structure on it. Well, probably 30% of the properties that we buy now have mobile homes on them, or cabins or sheds or something.
I only want rural vacant land. I don't want anything commercial or
industrial.
Yeah. I think there's lots of things that we're doing different. It's okay. We're here to be your support.
Change is good.
It's like a meeting.
Yeah. A support group.
Yes.
I'm uncomfortable with change support group.
There we are. That's us. Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? Check out offers2owners.com. So that's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow is Jill Friday, and she's going to talk about identifying with versus emulating rich people. Oh. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I was wondering how you're going to title that topic based on the chat we had in our morning bathroom meeting.
Do you want to
sitting
hang
on
around
a
with
bench?
Do you want to hang around with somebody who's rich, or do you want to be rich? That's what the show should be called.
So identifying with versus emulating. I love it. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable, and we really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.